I did.
When I tell you when to start.
This is the first octogenarian club organized in Florida. We have with us today 70 members from 80 to 95 years of age. We are having a very nice time.
In 1861, I enlisted in the War of the Rebellion at Warsaw in Benton County, Missouri, under Colonel O'Kane, then a captain. We went to Cold Camp, fought the Dutch, and cleaned them out completely. Lost only 7 of our men with more than 250 of the Dutch killed. No prisoners were taken on either side. From there, we went to Springfield, Missouri, where we had the Battle of Wilson Creek, where General Lyon was killed on the 10th of August. The bravest man I ever saw was General Lyon. After he was completely surrounded and pulled off of his horse, he picked up rocks and fought with thousands of men around him. He struck Will Morgan in the face with a rock, and John Morgan shot him with an old-fashioned horse pistol, killing him.
65 years ago, about 65 years ago, I came across the ocean from England to the United States, the family settling in Philadelphia. I there attended the public schools and the Boys Central High School eventually, but there was an interval between my attendance of one of the schools. It was not a direct succession. I was forced out of school at 11 to stay out 2 years because the entrance age of the Boys Central High School was 13, and I was only 11. So the problem was what to do with me during the 2 extra years. Well, some of them said, some of the advisors said, keep him away from books and let him develop physically. I said, if you do that, you might as well kill me now, because I've got to have my book. So they modified the decision into saying, well, you can have them, all right. So I got hold of a book which was called The Magician's Own Book, a book telling of puzzles and tricks and all kinds of little things, chemistry experiments, electrical experiments. Was what struck me at once. And they told how to make an electrical machine out of a wine bottle. And I immediately set to work and made just such a machine and started it in operation. And I got my first view of electric sparks from that machine, my first knowledge of electricity from that machine. And I made a whole lot of apparatus which it recommended to be made, like Leyden jars and little things of attraction and repulsion, dancing figures and so on, and I had that whole equipment. Along with a stool which was made by bottles and the board for making an insulated stool in order to insulate a person that wanted to be charged. And we charged them. With an arrangement of this kind, my father rather poo-pooed the magnitude of my efforts, and I thought I had to get even with him somehow, so I made a battery of 5 jars and put them into operation and asked him to take the shock. I never heard after he took that shock any more derogatory remarks about my apparatus.
It was early in July 1881. I was approached by a chum of mine who asked if I'd like a job as office boy with the Western Electric Manufacturing Company, whose office was on New Church Street in the rear of Trinity Church. I conferred with my parents, who thought well of the proposition, although my grandparents had me cut out for a Methodist Episcopal dominie. I'd have been some minister in a small Long Island parish with the possibility of a donation party weekly. Mr. F.R. Wells, manager, the New York office of the Western, offered me $2 a week. I stuck out for 4, was finally employed, and at the end of the first week, received a $5 gold piece in my envelope. I must have performed better than I thought. My jobs were numerous up to the time I was elected a director and vice president in charge of purchases and traffic, and later president and chairman of the Graybar Electric Company. I retired on the 4th of October last under the old age pension scheme. I look upon my association with the telephone pioneers of America with the utmost gratification, which is something I would have you all know. And I've had a wonderful time in the last 50 years, but there's still life in the old man yet.
Good off at the ripe age of 102, you must have had some interesting experiences. Tell us one of them when you were a little girl.
Yes. Well, when I was a little girl in slave days, I always had something to do every day. Every day. I didn't have time to play very much at all. I myself was in the house for most of the time. And days like this, while we were outdoors, pulling up weeds, or picking up feathers where the chickens was all make them through the yard, or every day. And in cloudy days, while we were in the house, we had a big pan of sand, silver sand in an old slipper, scrubbing up the floor in the big dining room where they ate the meal.
Mr. Haney, where did you live as a slave?
I was slave all my life.
Where did you live?
I told you where I lived, but in Washington.
Where did you live before Washington?
I told you.